Good morning and welcome. It's great to see you all here. My name is Andrew Guzman. I'm the Dean of the USC Gould School of Law, and I'm really delighted to welcome everybody here to the 9th Annual Sachs Institute Symposium. It's great to see so many people here. I know there'll be a few more trickling in. You all have successfully conquered LA traffic in a way that the latecomers have not. I think it's important to point that out to them when they arrive. So here at Gould, our focus is on producing scholarship that really matters. And by that, we mean producing research and engaging in work that makes a difference, that betters the conditions of people's lives and advances justice. And there's no doubt that the Sachs Institute plays a central role in helping us to achieve that goal. Since it was established in 2010, the Sachs Institute has not only studied issues at the intersection of law, mental health, and ethics, it has remained firmly with its feet on the ground on these issues, helping to promote policies and sparking action towards the improved treatment of people with mental illness. Among its recent efforts locally, the Institute established a disability mentorship program with Pearson with a focus on providing career development support to USC students facing mental health challenges. We successfully launched the program this spring and have plans to expand. Nationally, the Sachs Institute is partnering with the Burton-Blatt Institute at Syracuse University to create a professional-to-professional support listserv, which provides professionals with mental health challenges an opportunity to anonymously connect and share solutions with one another. In addition, the work of Elyn Sachs and the Institute have inspired new initiatives for our own law school community. This year, for the first time ever, all law students took part in an orientation session on mental health and wellness. The effort was driven by our student organization, the Law Students for Better Health, many of whom are Sachs scholars. This was just a terrific session. Professor Sachs came and spoke to the students, sharing her insights and offering her guidance. We hope it can be a model for other schools on campus to follow. So today, you're here for a very special event. The vast majority of our speakers today are themselves mental health consumers, and also it's not every day that we get to host leading practitioners, comedians, and NBA world champions all in one place. So we have a broad range of participants for today's dialogue, and to me that speaks to the reputation and respect of the Institute's founder and faculty director, Professor Elyn Sachs. While she doesn't need much of an introduction, she's going to get a little bit of one anyway. Elyn is the Orrin B. Evans Professor of Law, Psychology, and Psychiatry and Behavioral Sciences at USC Gould School of Law and holds the title of Distinguished Professor at USC, a prestigious appointment bestowed by the university president. She's one of the nation's foremost authorities on law and mental health, having published 5 books and more than 50 articles and book chapters on the topic. She's the author of the New York Times bestseller, The Center Cannot Hold, My Journey Through Madness, an inspiring memoir describing her struggles with schizophrenia. In addition, she's the recipient of a MacArthur Fellowship, more commonly known as the Genius Grant, which she used to start the Sachs Institute. And I think that's typical of Elyn's character, to take a personal accolade and transform it into an opportunity to help many, many people. Today's topic is very fitting, working and living with mental illness. Professor Sachs knows a lot about this, having worked, lived, and thrived with her own mental illness. And so without further ado, please welcome Professor Elyn Sachs.
Thanks so much, Dean Guzman, Andrew, for those kind remarks. I'm so pleased and honored that you're supportive of my efforts on behalf of the Sachs Institute. You couldn't be more supportive and are a huge part of our success. I'm honored and delighted to have all of you in the audience here at this event, in the spotlight, working and living with mental illness. A component of our day will also look at digital mental health. I would like to thank first some of the groups who have so generously supported the Sachs Institute, primary among them, the Doris Bree Trust, the Sidney R. Baer Foundation, the Nick Pritzker and Anthony and Jean Pritzker Family Foundation, Jackie Klein and the Klein Family, Foundation for Excellence in Mental Health Care, Gosh, there's a lot of them. Frederick Reisman Discretionary Trust, Elaine Foyer Barton and Richard Barton, Rich and Chris Getz, Robert and Wendy Brower, and my own parents, Barbara and Bert Sachs. We're pleased to have a full house today, and people from many different sectors are here. For example, professors, students, and staff around the university and other universities in Southern California, people from LA County Department of Mental Health, consumers and family members, people from the police and sheriffs, religious groups, and others. Indeed, we are not just a Los Angeles group. We have folks from the East Coast and even Europe here with us today. And many thanks also, especially, to all our participants who are here tonight. Most of our presenters are people from within the community of those with so-called lived experience, consumers and their families. We also have clubhouse representatives, providers, and tech people involved. And we're especially jazzed to have some really well-known people, too, including comedian Maria Bamford and pro basketball player Metta World Peace. Their willingness to speak openly about these issues is bound to have a positive effect on stigma in our country. Our tech people also includes well-known people, for example, Tom Insel, former head of NIMH and president and co-founder of a group called Mind Strong Health. And many thanks for all of our moderators, too. The program itself will come in different sections. The first one will be a consumer conversation, and then the second one will be digital mental health. Session 3, clubhouse conversation. The lunchtime keynote will be from Maria Bamford. And session 4 will be Ben Carey for the New York Times moderating a conversation with me and the basketball player Metta World Peace. So we're really excited. As always, I want to send my deepest thanks to the director of my institute, Chris Schneiders, for all his great work on this symposium and on behalf of the Sachs Institute generally. He couldn't be better at what he does. And thanks also to all our media people and events people, Layla Landers, we really appreciate it. And I'd like to also make a brief detour to shout out about a victory of a former student and now friend, Mayram Bendat, who has just prevailed in a major class action lawsuit arguing that parity was not being observed in the mental health space. This suit will have major implications for people with mental health challenges getting the care they need. I am really, really proud of my former student, Mayram. And actually, he was able to come last night, but he's doing some kind of litigation event today, so he couldn't come. I'd also like to make a somewhat personal comment about myself. For me, work is one of the 3 pillars of my recovery. The 3 pillars are work, relationships, and treatment. Working gives me pleasure, self-esteem, and a sense that I'm giving back. I do feel that most consumers want to work and feel good about working, contrary to what some people say. And I believe that we ought to encourage and incentivize people to work. This includes people like me with schizophrenia. Some say I am unique in having schizophrenia and being so high functioning, but it's not true. Some colleagues and I are conducting studies on, quote, high functioning people with schizophrenia, which we define as professionals, managerial people, technical people, and so forth. We have about 20 in LA so far. It's not that we don't exist, but that stigma is so great that most of us can't come forward safely. A separate component of our day focuses on digital mental health. We will be hearing from a leader in this realm, Tom Insel, as well as more local efforts to provide services in this way. Finally, I want to thank my beloved husband, Will Vinay, for all his love and support. Will, can you raise your hand? Couldn't do it without him. Yeah. Okay. In conclusion, we all, I know, care deeply about these issues and want to do our best to put systems in place so consumers can live up to their pre-illness potential. We believe this is possible with the right resources. We can do this, and we shall do this. Thank you very much.